Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Sluggers. I'm Anupam Mishra and I'll provide a more detailed introduction about myself as well as the channel towards the end of the session, especially for the viewers who might be watching any of my videos for the first time. Now, about this session, this is the second installment in the series, A Practical Guide to Grammar for the XAT, right? Where we try to take you through some of the most important grammatical rules and errors which are tested in the XAT exam based on the previous year's papers of XAT. Okay. In this session, in this episode, we'll be catering to the errors of comparison. Okay. Yeah. So let's start. Okay guys, so let's begin. Now the usual suspects basically is a reference to the types of errors that you'll usually come across so far as the topic of the case of comparison is concerned in grammar. Okay. Now any sentence that compares two or more than two entities okay, across any parameters has to be correct with respect to certain conditions. Okay, and I've tried to list down those conditions here. Okay, so let's read this. It says an appropriate case of comparison must be between two or more distinct yet comparable items. Okay, they have to be two or more distinct yet comparable items. Next, must not be ambiguous. There should be no ambiguity there, and must not be redundant, right? So there must not be any unnecessary repetition in there, right? So these conditions must be followed. Now each of these errors that we'll go through, errors of comparison, basically in a sense violates one of the conditions that have been mentioned here, and then we'll see that how. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so let's start with the first category of errors. This category itself has two cases here. The error of irrational comparisons, case 1, case 2. We'll go through each of these cases one by one. Okay, so starting with case 1, read the first sentence. It says the tail of an elephant is longer than a horse, right? So now this sentence seems to imply that the entities of comparison here are 1, tail of an elephant is longer than the second entity of comparison here is a horse, right? So it seems like you're comparing the tail of an elephant to a horse itself, not to a tail of a horse, but to the horse itself, which makes no logical sense, right? So the items of comparison basically are not compatible here, and that's why this is a case of irrational comparisons. Okay, maybe what the writer wanted to convey here was that the tail of an elephant is longer than the tail of a horse, right? So, and hence the correct way of phrasing this sentence would be the tail of an elephant is longer than that of a horse. Now that of a horse, that the phrase refers to, that of a horse means the tail of a horse, right? So that would be the correct expression here. Coming to the next sentence, it says Charlie is delighted to know that his shoes are larger than Alan. Now in this case, the items of comparison are his shoes, Charlie's shoes, and Alan, right? Again, this sentence seems to be implying that Charlie's shoes are larger, are so large that they are larger than Alan himself, right? His shoes are larger than Alan himself. So again, there's an incompatibility between the items of comparison. You can't compare a shoe with a person, right? So again, a better way of phrasing this sentence could be Charlie is delighted to know that his shoes are larger than Alan's, right? With an apostrophe S. So that means you're referring to Alan's shoes here. Okay, so that would be your first case. Let's come to your case number 2 now. Case number 2, again, read these sentences. Charlie is smarter than any student in his class, right? Now this is a sentence that people would generally overlook and might figure that might be able to intuitively derive the meaning out of it, but I might figure that there's nothing grammatically wrong with this. But there is, in fact. See, when you say that Charlie is smarter than any student in this class, this set of any student in his class, let's say this is the set of students in Charlie's class, also includes Charlie himself, right? So essentially what you're saying is, when you say Charlie is smarter than any student in his class, which also includes Charlie himself, so what you're trying to say here is that Charlie is smarter than Charlie, right? Charlie is also smarter than Charlie himself, because he himself also happens to be one of the students in the class. So that's the case of that's the case when the two items which are being compared here are identical. You cannot say that one identical item is, well, in any way larger, smaller, smarter, less smarter, etc. Less smart than the other than the same identical item, right? You cannot say that Charlie is smarter than Charlie himself. Of course, that doesn't make sense. That's paradoxical, right? So that's why. So a better way of phrasing this sentence would be, Charlie is smarter than any other student in his class. Now in this case, Charlie has been excluded from the comparison set, right? Similarly, the other second sentence, this bread is tastier than any bread I've ever had. Well, any bread that you've ever had also includes this bread itself, right? And if you say that this bread is tastier than any bread that I've ever had, because this set includes this bread as well, you're essentially saying that this bread is tastier than itself. Again, it doesn't make sense, right? So again, you'd want to introduce the word other here to make this grammatically correct and more and logical. You'd want to say that this bread is tastier than any other bread I've ever tasted. Okay, all right. So this would be the case when the items of comparison are too similar is your second case, and the case when the items of comparison are categorically different, such that they cannot be compared, right? Like the case of the tail of an elephant and the horse, or the case of Charlie's shoes and Alan, would be your first case of irrational comparisons. Okay, let's go to the next one now. Okay, now let's come to the second category of errors, which is of dubious comparisons, right? Now these are the errors where the sentence seems to convey two different ideas. Okay, let's try to understand how. Look at this example. It says we are on better terms with the Americans than the Britishers. Now this sentence can have two different meanings, right? It can either mean that well, we are on better terms with the Americans than we are with the Britishers, right? So that means our relationship with the Americans is better than our own relationship with the Britishers, right? We are on better terms with the Americans. So we are on better terms with the Americans than we are with the Britishers. This is the first meaning that it might convey. The second meaning that it might convey could be that we are on better terms with the Americans than the Britishers are with the Americans, right? That means it would go something like, we are on better terms with the Americans than the Britishers are with the Americans. Okay, so these are two different meanings that the same sentence seems to convey, and that creates ambiguity and doubt, right? And that's why it's grammatically incorrect. So the way to resolve this problem would be that for each of these, meanings should be conveyed in a different manner. For example, if you want to convey that we are on better terms with the Americans than we are with the Britishers, if you want to convey the first meaning, then you'd rather want to write that we are on better terms with the Americans than we are with the Britishers. So in this case, we are very, very clear about it, right? That we are on the better terms with the Americans than we are with the Britishers. Or if you want to convey the second meaning, right, that we are on better terms with the Americans than the Britishers are with the Americans, then in that case you can write we are on better terms with the Americans than the Britishers are. We are on better terms with the Americans than the Britishers are, right? So that could help resolve the error, right? So depending on what meaning you want to convey, accordingly you will construct the sentence. Okay, so that's about dubious comparisons. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now coming to the third type of comparison error. This is an error. This is the kind of error where you don't see, whenever you're comparing items, you at least need to have two or more items available for comparison, right? In these cases, the second item is not available. You just have the first one, right? So for example, look at this sentence. The queue at the museum moved more slowly, right? So the word more basically implies that it has to be more slowly with respect to something, right? That with respect to part, like with respect to something, this something part is missing here. Okay, the something part is missing here, and that's exactly what makes this sentence incorrect, right? You'd rather, so either you want to convey that the queue at the museum moved more slowly than something else, or maybe you simply want to convey that the queue at the museum is moving slowly, right? Both the ideas are fair, okay? But the way you'll construct a sentence for either of the ideas would be different, right? This sentence serves the purpose of none of these two ideas, neither of these two ideas, right? So let's suppose you want to actually convey a comparison that the queue at the museum moved more slowly than something else with respect to something else. In that case, you could say the queue at the museum moved more slowly than the one at the bank. Now, in this case, you have the second item of comparison here, the one at the bank, right? Then the queue at the bank, basically. Or if you simply want to just state on a, see, you have 3 degrees of comparison, right? Positive, comparative, and superlative. In positive, you simply state something. In comparative, you compare it with something else. And in superlative, you again compare, but you are on a superlative level, you basically demonstrate that it is the best or the worst of the whole category. I'm not getting into the degrees of comparison and into the details of positive, comparative, and superlative degrees because I want these sessions to be crisp and to the point, and I'm trying to stick to the errors which seem to me to be more relevant to being tested in your management entrance tests, right? So that's why I'm purposefully trying to keep away from the whole theoretical discussion of the 3 degrees of comparison, what are the rules for each of them, etc. Okay, so know that. So see, if you want to convey that, if you want to actually compare the queue at the museum with something else, you need to write that more slowly than the one at the bank. Or if you want to simply state it in a positive degree, then you can simply write, then you should not be using the word more, right? Then you can simply write the queue at the museum moved slowly. Okay, so that would be the better way of phrasing that sentence. Okay, so let's come to the next one. Finally, the last type of comparison error. Let's just look at the sentences to understand this. The first one says Hemingway was awarded for his most perfect storytelling skills. Now you see, the word perfect by itself demonstrates the superlative degree. When you say perfect, like you already defined that it is the best possible scenario, right? You don't need to use the modifier most here, right? It basically makes the whole thing sound redundant. Okay, most perfect, there's nothing like most perfect is enough. Okay, like you don't have multiple variations of perfect is like 100% perfect, right? So this makes it redundant. So whenever you have absolute superlatives like the word perfect, you don't need to use like modifiers like most, right? You can simply write Hemingway was awarded for his perfect storytelling skills. Okay, so that's your first sentence. Let's look at the next one. Clara has the most unique personality. Again, when you use the word unique, that automatically means that it is different from everyone else. Like it is anyways unique. Like there are no, like you can't say that something is less unique, something is more unique, right? You can say that something is less rare and more rare, right? You can have degrees of various degrees of rarity maybe, but you don't have various degrees of uniqueness. Unique is just unique, right? So again, using the word most here does not make sense. So you'd rather want to say that Clara has a unique personality. Okay, so that would be your case of the 4th type of comparison error. Okay, and finally guys, my introduction. I'm Anupam Mishra and I'm Lucknow alumnus. I've worked with organizations such as Hotstar, UNICEF, Apollo Daz, IMS, etc. I've also been an educator on an academy in the past and recognized by the Johnny Ive Award, considered among the top VRC educators that they had. These are my CAT credentials, and Sluggus is basically, guys, my endeavor to fill in some really crucial gaps which I believe exist in the test prep industry. Okay, so yeah, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.